What's up, people? So today we do some taillight stuff. But first we need to turn this bitch around and reorganize a few things. So I might have forgot that the rear bumper wasn't fastened, so I kind of lost it. It's a good thing I didn't do an actual test drive. Only in the dooryard, so yeah. Alright, so these are the Forester taillights with the pigtail harnesses still attached. I'm starting to collect the lighting harness stuff, pigtails, from the old harness. I'm going to find the headlights and also try to find the taillight harness so I can have the taillight harness adapt to this stuff that'll plug right into this. Pigtail, it matches. Just gotta find the other side. Found it! And all that. I guess that's trash now. Now we test the lights before I start cutting. They all work. So the Forester has 4 bulbs in the taillight, whereas the older Impreza only has 3. Has the backup, the turn, and the brake taillight. I imagine this is also what the parking light is in. And I've determined that on the Forester, the brake light, obviously, is the top and bottom. As for what is used, I'm probably just going to use the top one. Not really sure what the bottom one is, since the parking light is also in, it's in both. So I guess I'm just going to do what I think and leave that one out and see how it goes. Yep. Alright, so I've determined that on the factory harness for the Forester, the solid green is the brake light. The green with white stripe right there is the park light. And then we have the black is the ground, and then the other 2 ones a backup, and the other one's a directional. I already figured those out just by looking at where they route. On these, I got it all labeled, so now I'm going to start merging together. Well, before I actually solder and heat shrink. I'll probably just use the heat shrink butt connectors, but before I do that, I'm just going to wind the wires together after I cut and splice them, just to see if they actually work before I go full on heat shrink. So I figured I'd just document what the backup and directionals were. The turn signal is green with blue wire, the backup's red with blue wire, and like I said, the solid green's brake light, and the green with white is the parking light. So altogether I should make one complete harness. I figured out what the parking light and also the brake light was on the GC harness side. It turns out the brake light was the white with black stripe, and the parking light was the red with black stripe. Everything else pretty self-explanatory. That was the only thing I wasn't sure about, so I'd actually cram a bar on the brake pedal just so I would figure out which was the lighter bulb or the filament. I was able to figure that out, so now I'm going to start. I got these heat shrink butt connectors. Just going to start mocking up the harness and hope for the best. Okay, so I want to explain my adapter harness a little bit more. This right here, up until this point, was the harness that went to the actual Forester taillights. We disconnect from the chassis harness here, and then this is where all the bulbs were. I'm leaving this one intact right now because that's the extra brake and parking light. I'm just going to disconnect the bulb but still leave the actual pigtail there. All of this right here, I cut off the actual pigtail sockets for the bulbs, and I merged them to this piece that was originally part of the actual Impreza chassis harness. This is what connects to the actual taillights, as you can see here. This is an extra one that I got with the car. I was just able to say, you know, the backup directional brake light. There's only 3 that you're dealing with, but I had to do that for testing. This actually disconnects, and this plugs into the taillights that are in place. So this right here is a legit adapter harness, and if my splicing was correct, should be good. So let's test it out. Alright, so I got both harnesses done. Well, let's see how I did. And parking light. Since the harness adapters that I made actually worked, thank God, I am going to go ahead and wire loom these up, tape them up, and try to make them look a little bit prettier. And next, I need to start figuring out the third brake light, so I just got to find which part on the harness that is and which one of these it is. I imagine it's that one, but we'll do some testing. A couple hours have passed. I spent them sorting through 2 different chassis harnesses for older Imprezas that I had. Didn't really need much. I took all the relays, fuses out, all the grommets, because you never know when you're going to need a firewall grommet. So I got a bunch of those now. Now I've been doing some of the third brake light wiring. I de-loomed and figured out what 2 wires I need for the third brake light, and now I'm in the process of de-looming the Forester side of the harness. These are for the third brake light, so now I just got to take them out and get them down to whatever plugs they go to, because I want to keep these things factory. I can splice the other end, but with that being done, the rear end wiring is taken care of. Only things I will have to do are the front turn signals and the front parking lights. That's it. Oh, also the license plate lights for back here, but I'm going to do that with a different setup because the old ones I don't have the lights, so some custom is going to happen. Yep, guess it works. calling it a night. Got the car out so I could clean up this a little bit. It's still a mess, but not nearly as bad. I loaded up the Forester because that's going away this week. So that would be fucking nice. Get that thing out of here. Up next, front directionals, front park lights. I don't know what else. Mount bumpers. Zip tie random things. Paint the inside. I prepped just this area. I gotta clean up that area. I'll be painting that sometime this week. But yeah, the car is actually progressing amazingly. I got also installed the roof scoop. Or the vent. I don't have a scoop for it, just the vent. But yeah, I need front and rear bumper beams, need exhaust hangers, need a couple random things. We'll get to that, I guess, though. But yeah, if you're still watching, thanks for watching. Check back for more. Forgot one thing. Forgot to apologize. No test drive today. I don't want to do a test drive until I have someone here with me to follow me with their car in case I do need a tow strap. So I'll try to get that happening this week. See how that goes. See who I can bug. Alright.